What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar tutorial for That's What I Want by Lil Nas X. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button, and the guitar we're jamming on today is called a Faith Blood Moon Neptune. And guys, this video is sponsored by SPRK Music. SPRK Music is a groovy social video streaming, networking, and talent spotting app specially created for the music industry. It allows you to upload videos, images, and your music info. By doing this, you'll be able to connect as well as get discovered by fellow artists, fans, and industry professionals in a whole new way. From the moment you start creating your own account, choosing your favorite instruments and genres to jam on, you'll know that SPRK is made for musicians like you and me. SPRK is similar to YouTube, but has an integrated artist directory, making it a powerful tool to discover new artists. No need to use hashtags or compete against non-music related videos and creators. Here, you can become the most trending in your genre or instrument. With even more filters such as gender, age group, and location, you can increase your exposure dramatically. Sign up for SPRK Music with the link in this video's description and upload your first video today. Guys, the first thing that you want to know to play That's What I Want on guitar is that in order to keep the song as accurate and beginner friendly as possible, we're going to capo up to 4th fret. And if you don't have a capo, I'll have a link to get this capo for free right up here. The next thing that you want to know to play That's What I Want on guitar is the structure of this song. We're going to start with a verse, then go to chorus, then verse and chorus again, and we'll finish up the song with one last chorus. And the last thing that you want to know before we dive into That's What I Want is the 6 chords that you need to play this song. The first one is A minor. The next one is E minor. The next one is G. The next one is D minor. The next one is C. And the last one is F. And I'll have a beginner way to play that F chord, as well as short chord tutorials for all the other chords in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into That's What I Want. Guys, as soon as I heard this song, I knew I had to share it with y'all as quickly as possible because it is a very, very fun song to jam on, and it's actually probably my favorite song so far from Lil Nas X's new album. But I've only heard about half of the album, so be sure to leave some recommendations for other songs I should check out in the comments down below. So with that in mind, first thing we're going to take a look at is what we're playing for our verses. For our verses, we're going to have 2 chord progressions and a couple strum patterns to go along with them. This is going to look a little confusing and intimidating, but it's actually easier than it looks, so don't be intimidated by this if you're a beginner. First, let's take a look at our chord progressions. We're going to start with an A minor, then E minor, then G. That's our first chord progression, and we're going to repeat that 3 times. And then we'll go to the second line there, our second chord progression, which is going to be D minor, F, and E minor. And we'll only play through that chord progression 1 time per cycle that we repeat this through the verses. So nothing too crazy so far, both pretty simple chord progressions. Before we dive into strum patterns, I want to really quick make sure you guys know what chucking is because we're going to use quite a bit of it in this song. All that chucking is just muted strums. And how you get muted strums are 2 different ways. One, you can rest your fingers very softly on the strings on the fretboard without pushing down and strum, and it gives you a ch-ch-ch sound. That's what we're looking for. We want that. It's percussive and it adds quite a bit to the strum pattern and the feel of the song. The other way that you can do this also is kind of a form of palm muting, where you rest your strumming hand on the strings close to the bridge, and you can get kind of a similar sound, a similar muted, muffled, percussive sound. We're going to have quite a bit of that in this song. If you haven't learned that yet, or if this is your first time learning it, I would recommend working on it with this song. This is actually a great song to practice and learn chucking with. But you can also just exclude the chucking so that you can still play this song with the strum patterns. Without the chucking, it just won't sound quite as good or quite as accurate to the original song. So with that in mind, the first strum pattern that we're going to take a look at for our verses in this song is going to be what we're playing for our A minor and our D minor. So for our A minor and our D minor, we're going to play down, chuck, and then we're going to go up, tiny space, up, and then 2 chucks. What that actually comes together to look like is about like this. Kind of like that. Another cool thing about chucking is that you don't have to be super, super precise with it. You can actually just kind of get creative with it and kind of match up with what you feel like sounds the most accurate to the song that you're playing. So that's what we're going to be playing with our A minor and our D minor. For all of our other chords, we're going to play just a single down strum and then 2 chucks. 1, 2. So walking through the whole chord progression is going to look about like this. Start with our A minor. We're going to go down, chuck, up, chuck, chuck. And then E minor, down, chuck, chuck, G, down, chuck, chuck. We'll repeat that 3 times, then go to the second line, which starts with D minor. We'll go down, chuck, up, chuck, chuck. And then F, down, chuck, chuck, E minor, down, chuck, chuck. And that whole chord progression strum pattern situation will repeat several times for each one of our verses. So nothing too crazy here, guys. If anything, it's just kind of a lot to remember, but really the only complicated part is the A minor and that D minor, the strum pattern there. It's a little bit tricky because it's fast, but all the other chords are literally just a single down strum with some chucking in there. So with all that in mind, guys, a couple times through the chord progressions and the strum patterns that are going to repeat all through the verses on That's What I Want will look about like this without me talking. From there, guys, the only other things you need to know to play That's What I Want on guitar is what we're playing for our choruses. For our choruses, they get quite a bit easier because we only have one chord progression and one strum pattern. A little bit easier to keep up with. So first, let's take a look at this strum pattern. Strum pattern we're going to be using for our choruses is going to be F, C, G, and A minor, repeated through all of our choruses. And again, we just have one strum pattern for each one of those chords, and it is a pretty beginner-friendly strum pattern as well. So we'll use our F chord as our example here because it's the first chord in the progression. For each chord, we're gonna play down, 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 up, but a little faster, so more like just about like that. So a little walkthrough of what that'll actually look like with each chord is about like this. Starting with our F chord again, we'll go down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Just about like that, repeated through all of our choruses. So if you've made it this far, if you got through the verse, this is gonna be an absolute breeze. It's quite a bit more beginner friendly. We don't have any chucking. It's just a pretty simple chord progression with a pretty simple strum pattern. So guys, with all that in mind, a couple times through the chord progression and strum pattern, it's gonna repeat through all the choruses on That's What I Want will look about like this without me talking. And guys, that is everything that you need to know to play That's What I Want on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helps you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 875 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there could not be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what I'm up to in between each video, hit up my Instagram at @thegroovyguitardude. And lastly, guys, if you need a little extra help with this song or any other aspects of beginner guitar, hit up this link right up here to book a one-on-one lesson with me. Guys, I'm so stoked to share this new song. I've only heard probably about half of Lil Nas X's new album, but oh man, I just dig it. It's a cool sound. He's got his own thing he's doing, and it's very unique to him. It's a really just very unique sound to him specifically, and this song is super cool, so fun to play, and I've had it stuck in my head ever since I first heard it. It's such a catchy song, and that guitar part is so fun. So if you made it this far, you've probably already learned it, but it's a really blast of a part to play. And really all it is pretty simple chord progressions with pretty simple strum patterns. The only two things that might be tricky for beginners here are the F chord, which I will have a beginner way to play that in the pinned comment if you need it. Hopefully you've already seen that if you're this far into the video. But also that chucking. If you've never done chucking before, all it is, again, it's just muting the notes and strumming to get that ch-ch-ch sound. It's a fairly beginner-friendly technique, maybe venturing a little bit into intermediate, but it can add a lot of percussiveness to your playing, and it really matches up and adds so much to making this song sound as close to the original as possible. So guys, I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.